Alright, everybody. How's it going? Welcome back. I flew last night with all but one viewer, but exciting news. The patch just came out, and I just had it installed. I tested it without VATSIM, and then I tested it with VATSIM, and it seems like the frames per second drop is no longer. So we're going to go for it. We're going to do a full-out stream here of my next Around the USA flights. And today we're going from Mesa, what is it? Give me a second. Get all these airport names mixed up. Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport in Phoenix, Arizona. And we're going to go to California. So we went from Plymouth, Massachusetts, where I started, around the southern perimeter of the United States. And today we're going to hit California. This is going to be awesome. We're almost coast to coast, which is amazing. I did not, but I decided to use what I left there, Rob. I decided to use the all-off option. What did I do? Give me a second. Off, group only, because they would have to be part of your group, and therefore they're not going to show. So I don't know if we're going to see VATSIM traffic or not. We'll have to check that out and see if there is any traffic in the area while we fly. But willing to try that, because I didn't want to go do the whole Microsoft servers if we're doing VATSIM. And I know when prepared, I used to turn off all the AI traffic and stuff, and then VATSIM. Yeah, I'm on vPilot right now, so, but there's no one around me, I don't think. We could take a look, actually. Here's VATtastic. I am over here. There's a Southwest over Phoenix. You see, where's he going? He's going to, that is where he's going, Phoenix Sky Harbor from Las Vegas. All right, well, let's take a look outside and see if we can see anybody. Clear skies here in Phoenix today. And I don't see anyone. So, I don't know. But I will say, while I'm streaming and I'm connected to VATSIM, I'm still pulling 23, 24 frames per second. So that bug has been fixed, hopefully. We will keep our eye on the frame per second as we go. I didn't download a new Sim Connect. I had no clue what they were talking about because I thought Sim Connect was within the Flight Sim. And then no one really answered me about a new Sim Connect, so I am not sure about any of that. All right. All right, I'm answering this other guy's question. But yeah, someone just this person who just private me on Discord said he got the patch from the Microsoft Store, went to the game, started the patch in game, and power went out. So that sucks. Oh no, it's all right. Don't shut your mouth. Feel free to chat. No problem. I don't mind that. In fact, if you look below at the chat rules or questions, I welcome it. I just have to fly first sometimes. So go ahead, you ask away. I'm so used to it. Remember, I teach for a living, so that's all I get is questions all day, although the students aren't back yet. So, but all right, we're going to do this thing, and should take like an hour and a half. My wife just got home with the kids, so they might pop in. You never know. And I forgot to do one thing. I forgot to put the Blythe, California information, so I'll check in the chart supplement really fast here. But everyone's excited now because we can fly VATSIM, and hopefully I can prove that through this stream right now. So, all right, Unicom is 122.8. Just got to write this stuff down on my plan so that way I don't have to go checking through everything. And I have no one place. LA Center approach. Wow. We made it that far. 128.15, LA approach. That's amazing. And that's all I need. Is there anything else? Nope. Okay, good. So, yeah, Blythe is a middle of nowhere airport, it looks like. So, let me show you that too. And then we'll get going here. Good. All right. Get rid of all my waypoints here. So here's Sky Vector. And we're going to go from Phoenix all the way to Blythe, California. And again, I picked that because it's out here so I can get to the western perimeter. Here's the border of the United States, so you can see where I'm going with this. One little thing we got to worry about is this restricted area. I'm just going to avoid it by going north like that. And we're going to travel at about 6,500 feet. So I'm going to say, hey, what's up, Zyar? How you doing? Don't send me apples. I'm good. Besides, I have to fill out a whole form if you get me a gift over a certain amount. It's an ethics thing now. It's not like it used to be. Not like it used to be. And I'm only a band director, so what do I know? All right. Oh, man. Gotta stop sharing so much of my personal life here. Or my professional life, as you might call it. All right, so get the checklist out. We'll start playing up. I put the fuel on already because, remember, I always forget to do that. So start. Seat track back lock. Avionics off. Autopilot off. Throttle 1/4 inch. There you go. I am connected to VATSIM right now. You can see that the frame's doing pretty good. It's pretty smooth. Mixture full lean. That's reading my SPAD driver thing. Brakes are set. Master's on. Beacon on. Auxiliary fuel pump on. Oh, that was the avionics. Mixture in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mixture out. Pump off. Mags to start. Clear prop. Here we go. And we've gotten quite used to. Yeah, I got you. I'm just letting you know that there's all these ethics involved now of teaching, at least in Massachusetts. So I try not to accept any gifts if possible. But I appreciate the thought. All right. What am I doing? Mag start. Mixture full rich. Oil pressure is looking good. That's about where it is in this model when you start. Light test required. I'll put the landing, the taxi, and the nav. We'll pretend the nav is the ADS-B. Seatbelt harnesses, flaps up. They are. Double check. Heat vent defrost. I will take some cabin air to the best of your ability, seeing that we're in Phoenix, and in a minute we'll find out how hot it is outside. Avionics on. Yeah, Kennedy got beat, but kind of weird for Kennedy, but it happens, you know. So is that he is human. 63 degrees Fahrenheit outside. I'll still keep the cabin air on. All right, we're gonna do an ATIS here. Make sure I got everything. Oh, you know what I always forget? Transponder. And it's the 1200. In the 172s I fly in real life, they almost always leave the transponder on and they turn everything off with the avionics master. So, alright, ATIS. Let's get the frequency here. Still my notes from last night. 133.5, but if I remember right, that didn't work when I went and used the thing there, but maybe it'll
Gateway
work.
Airport information, Quebec 21000 Zulu. Wind 214 at 5. Visibility, tree. Sky condition, few clouds at 1,100 feet, few clouds at 4,000 feet, few clouds at 11,800 feet. Temperature, 20. Dew point, 10. Altimeter, 29.902. Visual runway 12 left, visual runway 12 right, and visual runway 12 center in use. Landing and departing runway 12 left,
Fuel.
runway 12 right, and runway 12
We're gonna do a
center.
little cheat here.
VFR aircraft, say direction of flight. All aircraft read back home short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact you have Quebec.
Quebec.
Gateway Airport information,
Very good. 12
Quebec
left, 12
210
right, 12
Zulu.
center, just like
Wind
last night.
214 at 5.
Alright, with that we'll go to VATSIM Unicom
condition,
because I
few
don't
clouds.
use any type of air traffic control here. And we will, oh, there's LAX Center. LA Center right outside my jurisdiction. So we'll just check the Unicom for a radio check. And let me just go back to my checklist for a second. Altimeter, transponder, ADS-B on, radio test. VATSIM Unicom, November 489er Echo Foxtrot. Radio check, please. Didn't think I was going to answer. All right, taxi light brakes. Yeah, we'll do that when we get out of here. And should we use the air traffic control? Yeah, I will for now. All right. Well, grounds on 128.25. Is that what it was? Yeah, 128.25. All right, just to get out of here, and then we won't do flight following. So we're going to depart to the west.
Gateway ground, Cessna November 489er Echo Foxtrot with Quebec request taxi to the active west departure. Cessna November 489er Echo Foxtrot taxi to and hold short of runway 12 right via taxiway Foxtrot. Contact tower on 120.6 when ready.
Now that Foxtrot is a little taxiway to the left. So again, the taxiway letters are still all messed up. But I know where I'm going.
Taxiing hold short runway 12 right via taxiway Foxtrot, Cessna 9er Echo Foxtrot.
Bravo Golf, but it is not Foxtrot, so need a little work there still. Make another patch. All right, with that, we're good to go. Actually, I'll keep the airport diagram on, and that's one of the biggest pet peeves I have, other than taxi lights in this. So here we go, a little bit forward. Brakes are good, and we'll to the right. We're good, clear. Okay, so I get out of here to the left. Last night I flew in here during the night, so it was a little harder to see. And all right, take a left here. We should be able to cross over to runway 12 right, which should be the one closest to us, which is pretty cool. Think about elections; those are just primaries, you know. And I did vote on the Democratic one, and I could have gone either way, but I picked Kennedy for some change, because God knows we need some change all around. So that's just my opinion, though. You are definitely entitled to your own. I like to be politically neutral with people, so. All right, I am thinking that this is the 12 right, which doesn't look like, kind of looks like it, but not really. And Foxtrot's over there, believe it or not, in the real world, so that's why they're all messed up. Really messed up. But you notice how smooth this is? And I'm on VATSIM right now, and I'm pulling 25 frames per second. So that is awesome. Guess what I have to do, though? I have to do the run-up. I almost forgot the run-up. That's how excited I am to get in the air today. So let's turn this puppy around here. Good. Into the wind whenever possible. This is definitely a big enough taxiway here, I'll give you that. And there's no aircraft coming my way anyway, so we're going to do it right here. Alright, brakes are set, fuel set to both. Trim set for takeoff. Hey, the trim wheel works right off the bat. How about that? Maybe that was a Sim Connect thing, who knows. Flight controls, the box, in, right, out, left. Now I'd be looking out the window right now at the ailerons in the elevator. We'll just pretend that they work good. Annunciator lights up here, something I'm not used to. Oop, give me a second. They all work. Beautiful. Alright. Instruments, turn coordinators in the middle, no flag. Heading coordinator should be about 1-2, it is. Vertical speed looks good. Altimeter looks good. Horizon looks good. Airspeed looks good. Mixture, best power. I'm gonna leave it. I could probably lean it out a little bit, but we'll see the run up. We'll see when I get to the 1800. 1800. Here we go. Okay, we'll see about leaning right now, because we are at 1,350 feet or so. So we'll lean it a little bit. See how it climbs in RPMs? I'm gonna go until it doesn't. Listening for the engine. Do you see that went up down a little bit? So we're gonna put it in a little bit. There we go. It's leaned. Now I'll go to 1800. Right magneto. Good. Back to both. Left. Back to both. Vacuum looks good. MSR charging slightly. Beautiful. Oil pressure, oil temperatures in green. Idling. Should bounce around 5 to 600, I'd say. 575 to 625. So they emulated that pretty good. And mixture, lean to check. I still don't know what that means. I have to look in the POH for that. So we're going to see what that means someday. I'll get back to you on that. We're going to go back to 1,000. I don't really think you need to do that because we already kind of showed that the mixture is working. All right. If there's a problem on the takeoff roll, mechanical emergency, otherwise there's enough available runway ahead of us, we will abort takeoff and land directly ahead on the runway. If we are, let's see, under 2,000 feet, and there's a problem, mechanical emergency or otherwise, we will land directly ahead of no more than 30-degree turns. Best glide speed is 68. If we are above 3,000 and there's a problem, mechanical emergency or otherwise, we will take a turn. You gotta look at the winds here. 214, huh? I'm gonna go 12. Take a turn to the right. Land downwind on the grass to taxiway the runway. That's because we like to turn into the wind because it's gonna push us back, so it'll be over the airport more. Anyways, turn right. Best glide speed 68. Land downwind on the taxiway, the grass, and runway, whatever's available to us. Again, best glide 68. All right, with that, we are good to go. I'm gonna call tower here. Then this will probably, hopefully, be the last I ever have to touch on this for the simulator, because the ATC is not exactly the best. Alright, hopefully this is the frequency. Tower, yes it is, cool.
Gateway Tower Cessna November 489er Echo Foxtrot, ready for west departure at runway 12 right. Cessna November 489er Echo Foxtrot, cleared for takeoff runway 12 right departure to the west approved.
And this is good. Alright, acknowledge it.
Cleared for takeoff runway 12 right Cessna 9er Echo Foxtrot.
I'll put the VATSIM Unicom in after this. They don't really say you have to do that, but I'm using it, so. Here we go, holding the frame rate. I'm up to almost 30 now. I'm like 29, 30 frames per second. So indeed, SimConnect seems to have been fixed, which is awesome. Alright, we're gonna line up in the middle. And we shall say sayonara to Gateway Airport in Phoenix. And again, stopwatch. Good to go. Started, and here we go. Rotate at 55, climb at 74. What is that emoji? I don't even know what that is. Is that a lion? I think that's a lion. Alright, I'm gonna focus on the runway for a second. I gotta make some of my own emotes, as they call it. Is that what they called? Still kind of getting the whole Twitch thing going on still, like all the little extras now. I decorated more than anything before I got to all that. So. Alright, beautiful day out here. Not so beautiful in real life here in Massachusetts. It's raining and overcast and all that, so that's why I'm not biking today. Still have that 100-mile challenge for this month. It just started yesterday. I got 21 miles in, so I think that's good for 2 days, right? And, yeah, we're going to turn this puppy around.
Cessna 9er Echo Foxtrot, continue for west departure. I will contact you next when you leave my airspace.
Well, thank you. I will do that.
Gateway Tower Cessna November 489er Echo Foxtrot, continue for west departure.
Alright, we're going to turn to the right. Clear on the right. Here we go. We want to go to about 269er to correct ourselves for wind. That's once we're on track here. First checkpoint is Stellar Airpark, Papa 19er. So when we get on track, we'll look for that. I don't know. Let's see if we see any traffic from VATSIM. But I didn't want all the other multiplayer traffic. My brother, when I flew with him, he crashed into my plane like 5 times, but all it does is like disintegrate and turn into like a ghost plane. So I don't know, man. Again, trying to teach him how to fly a 152. Oh, really? Cool. I don't want to ask your exact address, but how close am I? Does that remind you of anything? How about that side? We'll take an outside view once I get on course here. But actually, we'll take an outside look. No, I think I can do this one. See how smooth this is before I've been on battery? This is while streaming, so now I'm getting like 30 frames per second here. So that patch definitely worked. Awesome. That must remind you of home. Hopefully. Don't know what these little canals are called, but seems like we're flying over a high school right over here. Maybe that's it. We don't have such big schools in Massachusetts except for Boston. Even then, they have tons of traffic and stuff since the city. I'm going to turn up this the microphone just a little bit so that when I look outside, it will actually pick me up a little bit better. There we go.
Cessna 9 Echo Foxtrot, you are leaving my airspace. Frequency change approved.
Oh, cool. I've never been to Phoenix, so.
Gateway Tower Cessna November,
All right.
489er Echo Foxtrot, frequency change.
We're gonna go to VATSIM Unicom 122.8 and we'll stay there and we'll see if we hear anybody. We'll start with that and then we'll keep looking for traffic to see what happens with VATSIM. But if I look over here, I'll get Simluator going on here. It's not gonna be much traffic throughout West. LA there will be, but Blythe there will not be. So we are here, and we'll be going all the way to Blythe, California. Should be a pretty nice flight. The weather looked pretty good when I looked at it. And as far as traffic, climbing to 6,500 by the way. I should probably lead up the mixture, seeing that we're at 4,000 right now. Right about there. Traffic. We have some at Phoenix, which makes sense. But I don't know if we're going to see any. So we'll wait till we're right about here, and then we'll look north and see if we can see any traffic. How's that? Stellar Air Park is our first checkpoint. That airport out there is Chandler Airport? Yeah, Chandler Airport. Sky Park should be, Stellar Air Park should be over there. And my GPS is saying about an hour 13, but we're not up at cruise level yet, so we'll have to wait and see on that one. 4,500. Again, sorry about my allergies. I have no clue. My allergies have been, like, I feel weird because I just like all day long and coughing. So I'm trying, people. I know it's not awesome, but all right, let's trim this out so I don't have to hold the yoke back anymore. Here we go. What's our RPMs here? 2,400-ish. That's okay. Yeah, we'll get there. I can lean it out a little bit, maybe. There we go, went up a little bit. Right about there. And yeah, pretty comfortable flight so far. And that's Chandler. And the air park should be up there, the Stella Air Park. So does that look like your neighborhood? Climbing at 80. Which is slightly faster than 74 for best climb, but that's so you get a little bit better engine cooling, and for short people like me, you can see over the nose better. So, no virtual cushions on this flight, but I started flying with a cushion in the 172s. I'm just too short for the 172. I get a better aspect view that way, and I'm not afraid to admit it anymore. So, all right. I gotta get some background music for these streams. I picked out some. I just gotta get it all organized. Maybe I should just write my own. You know, I did go to music school and get trained as a professional musician. You think I can write my own? Maybe I can make money off that. You know, who knows? 5,500. Get up the mixture just a little bit. Very good. Yep. Over back in. Okay. Yeah, the airport should be right around here, so let's take a look outside again. See that part? Yeah, it's that patch right there. Yeah. I believe it is. There's one runway that heads north. Maybe, maybe not. Smooth as butter now, though, I'll tell you. Smooth as butter.
This Square 465 to anyone on this frequency. Can somebody give me a radio check?
5x5, then Earth Buck.
Alright, thank you, sir.
Well, there's the city out there. Slowly stripping its way into my computer. I don't really see the runway here, but that has to be the sky part, so. Wait, no. Can you tell I'm not from Phoenix? Beautiful scenery, though. Oh, there's a mall. Don't know what that mall is. Feel free to chime in with the name of that mall. Oh, there it is, right there. Duh. That makes sense. Alright, so that is our first checkpoint. We'll be there about 10 and a half to 11 minutes. I said. I didn't say anything, so I didn't calculate it, so I'm an idiot. I got so excited about flying today. Alright, let me quickly get the E6B out here and calculate this stuff. Oh, man. It's okay, we'll catch up with it. Just remember 11 minutes for me. 13. Still save my data there, so... Would that be 7 plus... 8, 15 minutes, but I said that we got there at 11. So everything else is going to be minus 4, or I could just add the time on. Jeez, this sucks when you do this, huh? Yeah, I know. That's why I turned the microphone up. But I'm emulating headphone mode when I'm inside the plane. So good for me, because I have the aviation headset on. So it's just too loud. I mean, I guess I could turn that down in the Simluator, but I'm just not on that right now. So. Alright, next checkpoint is a visual checkpoint, PIR. It's on the sectional. I have no clue what PIR means. That's in 12 minutes, so total 23. So like doing E6B while you're flying, right? Thank God I got the electronic version. Else I'd be here turning a wheel. 4. 21 plus 55. Thank God it saves all the previous data, or else I would have been here recalculating a lot of things. Hour and 9 minutes. If you want to know how I do this stuff, you can always go on the Airflight channel. I have a wonderful long video.
Scottsdale traffic number 782 Lima Papa is about 12 miles to the northeast. Coming in runway 2 on full stop. Scottsdale.
I guess it's Scottsdale, Arizona. Cool. 134. Alright, new flight time of 134. So we're a little ahead, which we should be because I went direct and I didn't climb to altitude. And I'm way too high though. I'm at 7,500. I didn't think I was that high. It's cool. We'll just descend quietly down to 6,500. And again, our next checkpoint is PIR. Looks like a stadium actually. Is that a stadium out there? Might be a stadium. PIR. Looks like a stadium icon. So we'll be looking for a stadium. At least the microphone cleared up though compared to previous streams, so I fixed that problem. But yeah, let's take another look outside. All right, so we're talking a little bit louder now. That's what's no stuttering at all. We still have about 30 frames per second. I got lots of 30 frames, so the patch seems to be doing just fine. Awesome job, Microsoft. Should have probably come up with that first day, but it's cool. We're patient, right? We can wait for all that stuff. Is it Rodriguez? I can't remember. I think it's Rodriguez. I remember you said that before. I'm going to come up with a nickname for you. That's what's going to happen. But you are my friend from El Paso.
Castle traffic number 72, Lima Papa, turning left base, runway 2 on full stop.
Down in the West Texas town of El Paso, I fell in love with a Mexican girl. That's what I remember from El Paso. So, yeah, see, I got it. It's happening. Even though I'm terrible with names, I finally got one down. So how's it going, sir? Hey, there's American Airlines 1141. I'm pretty sure that's VATSIM traffic. So let's take a look out here. American Airlines 1141, because I don't have live traffic on. At least I don't think I do.
Castle traffic number 72, Lima Papa, turning short final, runway 2 on full stop. Castle.
And actually, that American Airlines might be a real flight. So, it's cool. I'll try to remember the errands. Whatever you want, sir. Tier on board. Say hi. Hi. We're flying. Yeah. Don't you dare touch that yoke. I am the captain of this ship. Did you have fun at Grandma's? Yeah. Yeah. Love you. Well, I gotta be able to fly. You saying hi to everybody? Right, let's not yank it. That's an expensive headset. Say hi though. The 2-year-old has invaded everybody.
Scottsdale traffic number 72, Lima Papa, going around, making left close traffic. We're gonna have another go at it.
My 2-year-old. So, everyone's back. I'm trying to get this flight done because I got excited with the patch. No touching the mouse. And no touching the mixture this time. She did that one time on a fly-in mixture, and yeah, we had a heck of a time controlling the plane with that. It's like real world emergency procedures. Okay, I'm gonna let you down, okay? You just touched the throttle with your butt, so, alright. I'm gonna let you down. I'll talk to you in a little bit, okay? I love you. And that was the visit from the 2-year-old, everybody. Sweet girl. Means well. Touches mixture like you wouldn't believe.
Phoenix traffic, Blue Square 465, taxi 26.
Alright, so we're still looking for our next checkpoint up ahead. It's a stadium called PIR. I have no clue what PIR means. All I know is it's a stadium and it's going to be on my left. Nice mountains though, huh? What are those mountains called? That's South Mountain, everybody. Look at the fantastic graphics on that. And again, with this latest patch, smooth sailing. That American Airlines flight, by the way, I could not find that on Vatastic, so I'm thinking that that might have been live traffic, but I thought I turned that off because I turned everything off except for group traffic, so I'm wondering if that was VATSIM or not.
Scottsdale traffic number 72, Lima Papa, right downwind, runway 2 on full stop.
Check
Scottsdale.
Simluator again. One for American Airlines. Flying past me a little bit. No. No. I have a Delta Airlines coming at me. It's coming in hot, yo. Alright, let's look to the left. Phoenix, Sky Harbor should be out here. Alright, somewhere. There's the city though. That's pretty good. traffic all the way down there. A couple of flights. So, I guess that might not be the setting we want for VATSIM, group only. And that might be because it's defaulting to the simulator group only. So I guess that you might have to go to the next setting up. But you know what? We're going to have to leave it for now because I have to reset the whole sim to fix that. So there's a Southwest Airlines 8680. I'm looking for that. No, maybe don't hear me because I know it's delayed. Well, I got some type of traffic. Have to trim this thing out. And next checkpoint's coming up. We're on track and everything. 2,500. See, she touched the throttle. It's cool. Have to trim down now. Doesn't it? Doesn't it look real? Looks awesome. You know. Let me go outside again. That's definitely Southwest. It's not on the scope of Simluator, so I don't know. Tell me. We're right about here. Wait. 707. It's 8680. I don't know. Can't tell you if that's VATSIM traffic or not. It doesn't look like it on the
Phoenix traffic, Blue Square 465 heavy, again ready to depart 26 to the west.
Simluator, but definitely have someone out there. All right, gotta trim this down still. And LA Center, we should be able to pick them up on our way to Blythe, California. We'll make it to Blythe, California, everybody. That's almost coast to coast now on my Around the USA flights. This is exciting. We don't exactly see desert here in
Castle traffic number 72 Lima Papa vacated runway 21, taxi park via Bravo. Gotcha.
And this is the experience now. Really? Think it's boring? Well, I'm sorry it's boring. I kind of like flying visually and stuff and seeing sights, but that's me. So, what do you think I should do to make it more interesting? I want to fly the Cirrus a couple times. That I do want to do. But this also helps me work on my real-world cross-country skills as a private pilot. So that's why I do it also. The Cirrus does go faster, I have to give you that. But most of the people that fly a Cirrus around the airport that I depart out of in real life, most of them are speed demons, and they jump in front of you. So I don't know. Oh, you want me to play like, yeah, no. I won't be doing that, because as I said, I have to plan out all my stuff. So, with the family and stuff, I just gotta plan it out. Our checkpoint should be on the left, which it is right there in the stadium. What's that? American Airlines 604. Maybe that is VATSIM traffic. Anyways, that's stadium right there. Looks like a NASCAR stadium. Here's the visual. And it seems like maybe I do have VATSIM, but it's not popping up on VATtastic, so I cannot verify that for real. And we would be in class Bravo right now. Alright, that got there around 22, 23 minutes. I said 23, so we'll go with it. Go to our next airport, Kilo Bravo X-Ray. Kilo should be there in 11 minutes. So, I'm sorry if you find this boring, but I am mostly into simming right now. The most I've done is Call of Duty outside of this, and that was during summer vacation, World War II. It was a pretty cool game. I just don't get enough time to just say sit down and play for like 5 hours straight like I did when I wasn't married and young. I remember those days. But fortunately, can't always do that. I had my real world students say, why don't you play Fortnite? And I got as far as downloading it. After that, just couldn't do it. I couldn't get into it. So, yeah. Do you mean the sim, or do you mean the Fortnite? Yeah, I was gonna say. Yeah, I tried to be nice on that one. Do you even game, bro? Oh man. Well, I do appreciate you either way. Maybe someday I will humor you and play some other game on this. So, but again, that must be a NASCAR stadium or something over there. Looks pretty realistic, right? I think it looks pretty good. Got a lot of tractor trailers down there, maybe? That looks pretty realistic, though. And we're on ultra settings here. And I left it that way, and we're locked at 30 frames per second. So the game, update on the frames, 30 frames per second. Right at the top here, while streaming and everything. So thank you once again to Microsoft for making that patch today. And what game is that? You talking about Fortnite? Or are you talking about Microsoft Flight Simulator? Okay, we should have about an hour. No, well, it says, actually it says we should be there in 30. Oh, no, that's the checkpoint above the restricted airspace. So yeah, probably about an hour left of flight here. Flying in the real world, hopefully on Saturday. We'll see. Taking the 152. I haven't flown that in a while. I'm going to fly the 172P a lot. And I still have no clue on where I want to go. So, yeah, Microsoft Flight Simulator. Yep. It's definitely the go-to now that they fix things. And I can, if you heard the people talking stuff, that's live online air traffic control. It's just that there's no air traffic control available, but we contact each other on that. So, no longer need to just kind of zap in and out on the simulator ATC, which kind of sucks, honestly. But we're about to enter the Salt and Gila Rivers bald eagle breeding areas. They probably tell you that on the sectional because they don't want you to fly too low. Usually the rule is they would like you to be 2,000 feet above any wildlife refuge. But we'll take another look outside. We'll check out the Salt and Gila River bald eagle breeding area. Maybe we'll see some bald eagles. I doubt it, but we can look. The bald eagles must live in houses. I don't know. No, I'm kidding. Got me more out here in mountains. No stuttering, no problems with frames. This is amazing. Now I have to trim up. This is exactly what the doctor ordered for this simulator. Still want them to fix a couple of things, but it's all good. There should be a closed airport. I said airport. Airport to our north here, somewhere out there. Yeah, I am too, man. I missed VATSIM. I gotta be honest with you. You know, for the longest time, I just went on my own little general aviation escapade. I'm talking like years ago, about 2016, where I didn't use VATSIM or anything. It was like, I'm just gonna do it all myself. But definitely missed it. I used to belong to SATCO, if that means anything, way back in like 1998, which was the predecessor to VATSIM. So those were the old days. But yeah. Well, if you ever need help on working on ATC, let me know, because I do offer myself to help people out with communication. It's not that I'm perfect, but I did pass the private pilot check ride, so I must have done something right. Not saying I'm perfect. No one ever is.
Phoenix traffic, Delta 7689 Heavy, We're approaching from the west at 11,000 feet, and we'll be entering the downwind for runway 25 left traffic in about 2 minutes.
See, like that was a little wrong, but it wasn't terrible, you know what I'm saying? So you do it and you learn, and that's what you do. Like if I could ever keep my plane trimmed correctly at 6,500, it'd be amazing right now, you know? But I'm using the thumb trim, just like in the real world. I've never had one of these in a 172 before, but I guess on the fancy new model that costs about $375,000, namely the SP that we're flying, you can trim right here on the wheel. So I just kind of did that on my honeycomb yoke here. But yeah, let me know. We could fly some time and I'll help you. One of our members of the Virtual USA Flying Club, he was thinking about flying me, and he's actually heading home from work, so I'm going to give him an update on where I am when he gets back. But there's not a lot of airports between here and Blythe, so that's the only difference. But I taught him how to do ATC, because a lot of people that join the Virtual USA Flying Club, if you're not used to general aviation, they get a little nervous about radio calls. And I gotta be honest with you, some people on VATSIM, they don't really know how to deal with general aviation, because that wasn't a big focus back in the day, nor is it still in some places, but we're making it more popular, right? And I won't fly anything but general aviation. I did my virtual airline stuff back in like the late 90s, early 2000s. I even tried to open up my own virtual airline for a while, and then September 11th happened, and then just kind of lost interest. I went gigging as a musician, so took a lot of sacrifice to do that, try to make it. Almost got signed, almost. Then the band broke up, but I've always made my money in music, so that's what I went to college for. And just to make your living at something you like doing is a blessing. So. Alright, not very exciting. We're about to get to Buckeye Airport, which is our next checkpoint. And I said in 34 minutes. We're about 30 minutes into our flight right now. So yeah, it's going to be about right, and it should be right off to our left. So let's look outside. See what we can see. There it is right there, Buckeye Airport. Literally the smallest highway for quite a while. And you would be right to Blythe. What? Oh, it's Route 10. 10 right here. If I just follow that highway the whole way, I think the Blythe go. Hopefully you can still hear me. I'm talking louder. I don't mean to scream. I was originally going to do this flight with the flight before it, all this, like, you know, I was going to overfly Phoenix, Arizona, from Tucson or whatever I was. But I couldn't sleep last night, so I did a little leg, and then I saved the bigger leg for today, so it's all good. But if you want, I'm going to hopefully contact LA Center when we get into their jurisdiction, and I'll show you how to do an initial talk to them. But it's really just messing up, doing it over and over again until you get it. And even to this day, when I fly for real, I'll know what I'm supposed to say, but then I'll jumble it up just slightly. Or there's always the where you go, I'm trying to get rid of that when I talk to air traffic control in real life. And sometimes I'm really good, and other times still have a lot of uhs. So it's just a work in progress all around. So don't be afraid. That's what I'm saying. Go and just do it. And if you make a mistake, you make a mistake. Alright, Buckeye Airport should be right off to our left. Right there, we're right above it almost, and I got 32 minutes. So we're actually 2 minutes faster than I planned. And again, if you want to know how to flight plan, I have a long, boring video on the Eric Flight channel. Go check that out, but it will teach you how to do it like a VFR pilot in the real world. So just like I do on all these flights to practice my cross-country planning and executing, if you will. But I've been doing some cross-country flights lately. have a new video I gotta still make, but the newest one was Martha's Vineyard for biking, and I know some of you saw that, so I'm not gonna go into big long detail, but it was a good time at Martha's Vineyard, Mass, and that was not a cross-country flight. Cross-country flights 50 nautical miles or more typically. There's a way of getting around that in the FAR AIM, which is the laws, the flying, but I like to log 50 nautical miles and over as cross-countries, because I still plan on doing my instruments someday, and the instructor said that you can apply it to your instrument training, I guess. So thank you very much for subscribing, but I do look forward to flying with you and helping you out if you need it. Again, it's just finding time between being a dad and working as a teacher, but we could do that sometime. Just let me know. Contact me on the Discord there. Alright. See, now I feel like using... You know, I am going to do that. I'm going to use Google Earth. This is going to flash a little bit. Give me a second here. Because I got stuck on using my old Google Earth tracking program when I couldn't use VATSIM, but I kind of miss it now. So it's got to flash again, sorry. Just loading Google Earth. And this is a plugin that will track your plane like ATC on Google Earth. Hi! What's so funny? What's so funny? I don't get it. Alright, oh, I gotta load that. But I'll show you what I mean. This is an oldie but goodie program. This is from the FSX days and it still works. So, if you must know, I have a plugin that will plug into the old Google Earth, and I'll show you where you're going to be in a minute and where you are, and of course you have the satellite imagery, so that's where we are. We're going to go to Blythe, California, which I usually mark, but I didn't mark right now, and yeah, I'll do that eventually when I get some time. Just focus on flying for a little bit. Our next checkpoint is the Eagle Mountains Wilderness Area. So when I enter that, that would be the next checkpoint, and that's going to be a while. That's going to be a good 30 or so nautical miles, I think. So we have quite a while to go. So I'll try to mark this thing up while we do that. What the hell am I doing? KIWA. Phoenix Mesa. There we go. So yeah, this gives a little bit more color if you ask me. Doing pretty good. We'll take a look outside after this too. Just give me 1 second. KIWA Phoenix. Oops. Mesa. Gateway Airport. I'm gonna mark all these things. That didn't save it the way I wanted to though. Come on, it's supposed to be an aircraft. Bam. Okay. Good. We'll mark Blythe. That didn't do it again, but we'll just leave it. KBLH. Shifting to the north a little too much. Not a desert, huh? I have a Veer, and I use this in the real world, so I don't know if you can see this, but no, my webcam filter is going to block it, but it goes right to my tablet. And this plugin right here is called My FS Google Earth. It's only for Google Earth. It's not for an EFB, if you will. It's just strictly for Google Earth. So, again, oldie but goodie. And in the old days when we didn't have all the EFBs and stuff, or at least I didn't have one, I would use this. I mean, I remember the old days where I'd get like road maps out and try to track where I am. We've come a long way since then, I'll tell you that. Alright. See if I can fix that one icon, and then I'll show you what I use it for. But they might still have this. My FS Google Earth. You have to set it up. Then once you do, you just kind of refresh it in Google Earth, and I mean like the downloadable version of Google Earth, and it will work. Alright, so this is what I do with it. It's because I wasn't on VATSIM before, so there's no real way of tracking me, but I will drag this over, trim it up a little bit. So we took off from Kilo India Whiskey Alpha, Phoenix Basic Gateway Airport. We're flying to Blythe Airport, and we're about, I'd say 40% there. So it's just going to keep tracking my aircraft as we make it closer and closer. So, but you can zoom in, you can see all the satellite imagery, and you can compare it action with Microsoft Flight Simulator. So see all those farms and stuff? Let's look right below us and see what's below us. See, it's pretty much the same. So, we've come a long way in graphics Flight Simulator. I'll tell you that. Could have only dreamed about that when FSX came out. So, but it's a good thing. Yeah, Avir is pretty, I don't want to say bare bones, but it's a little more minimalistic than other EFBs. The best part is it's free. And even though I do fly in the real world, I'm just a private pilot, VFR. You know, I maybe fly about 4 to 5 times a month. Sometimes in a good month I'll do 6, but I haven't done that in a while. So I don't feel like paying for ForeFlight. If I flew like all the time and had all the money in the world, I'd have ForeFlight, but I do not, and Avir's been working great. I also have an ADS-B receiver that will hook up to this for real world flying, so I can actually see all of that stuff out there. Of course, you don't just trust that, but sorry, I got a work email. Looks pretty good. Yeah, alright. I used to never look at my work emails after hours, but I just find it's easier to solve problems if you can right away and not have to worry about them. So, my brother's using the Flight Plan Go, I think, and he just got it to work. But Avir has a little plug-in that connects right to the simulator, and you use the same plug-in for the ADS-B receiver Bluetooth. So it's the only thing. I contacted the developer on this. I said it'd be nice to have traffic alerts. So yeah, I mean I do all my flight plan with SkyVector, and I write it all out. I don't know if you can see this, but I made my own little flight log sheet. It's kind of like for my private pilot training. If not, it's on that planning video, see? So, but I do everything with E6B and all this and that. Honestly, I just use Avir, even in the real world, as like a GPS program with the chart supplement inside of it. So, I like that. I can go to the charts and everything right in here, and I don't have to keep printing them out all the time like I did in my private pilot training. But I do recommend, if you do want to get a private pilot certificate someday, don't use the technology at first. And I recommend that because if it ever fails, you have to know what the heck you're doing. And I even carry around a paper sectional, even though I hardly use it now, because I'm using Avir all the time. But it's there in case anything happens. So, but they are definitely useful, and I know the FAA is slowly closing a lot of VORs out there over the next couple of years, and they're doing that, one, to save money, and two, because people are relying more on GPS to get around. So, but when I did my private pilot training, it was all paper sectional, doing what I'm doing right now, getting the times down and saying I should be here around this time, and everything was just right out there, and that's it. So I will say Avir is cool too, because I have it on my cell phone. So let's say that my tablet were to die, I have a backup there too, plus my paper sectional, so a lot of redundancy. But you should know how to find yourself without electronics. If you do a private pilot certificate, and they will make you do that on the check ride. So they'll make you triangulate, if that's the word, between two VORs. You draw lines on the sectional, or you kind of get it going on while you're flying and say, I'm right about there. So. Yeah, no, there's no problem in using it. You know, like, by all means, I used this when I was doing my private pilot training on the simulator. I just didn't use it in real world training, because I wanted to be more traditional with that. And the gentleman who was my flight instructor, I actually worked with him at the high school I work as a teacher. He retired, and then he was was flying for airlines and stuff though before he was a teacher, so I had a little connection there. And he's an older gentleman, we'll say, and very traditional, but had some good stories. He did save my life one time during training too. So yeah, we almost got hit by a plane in the traffic pattern in Plymouth because the guy wasn't calling on the radio nor listening to us. And there's Vat Sim. And yeah, so this guy was, I mean, I'm trying not to elaborate on it, but I think 9 feet away from us. And I was like, ah! And he just dove that plane. I was weightless for a little while. It was great. It was a great ride. And we were fine. And he's like, fly the plane. Because if it ever happens to you, you have to fly the plane. So, all good. Eagle Mountains Wilderness area coming up on our left. So I think it's these mountains. And it's as soon as I touch the wilderness area on the sectional that I will call the time. So, well, we can even go over that type of stuff with the sectional. And I helped another member of the Virtue USA Flying Club with that. And we actually flew out of his home base in upstate New York, which isn't terribly far in terms of flying from where I am. And then I had to like ATC for him, and he got used to calling and this and that. You know, because I remember I knew absolutely nothing, and that was after flying the simulator. So I like to share stuff, and that's why I make the videos and stuff on the Air Flight channel. So I would like to fly as realistic as possible. You just can't do that unless you have someone that does it, because then they can kind of explain things to you. So, and being a teacher in the real world kind of helps me to be patient and all that stuff. But let's look outside again. There shouldn't be a lot of stuff to look at. Pretty good. And again, if you look at the alert, pretty realistic. We're heading this way. Take west. See right behind us is the same farmland right there. But there have been no glitches with that sim here. Turn more on course again. And everything's doing fine. 45 minutes of flight so far. That gold bar you see at the top is a plug-in for streaming. It's called Fly Live, and it will tell you about how far along we are in a flight. So you're seeing about 50% of it is done. We should be at the northern part of the Eagle Mountains Wilderness area in about 8 minutes. So that is the mountains to the left here. I am going to do a video someday on how I flight plan with all this stuff quicker than the flight planning video I made earlier, which was the traditional way with the E6B that you turn and stuff. But you gotta get on that sometime. Just have to find time. So I actually laid off my other YouTube channel a little bit. That actually pays for flying. I did that to make more videos for the Airflight channel. So I'm hoping to ramp it up a little bit more. These streams have been very good for the Airflight channel. We get a lot more subscribers because of them, so that's cool too. But if you have any questions, just throw them out. I'll see if I can answer them. If I can't, I won't lie to you. I'll just say I don't remember or I can't answer that. Dude, boy. Nice scenery. Even better, that's not all choppy at 9 frames per second. I'm still at 30. And I swear I could probably get more than that. I just haven't locked at 30, so. I know a lot of instructors, they say when they get a pilot, or a student, if you will, who did like the flight simming though, they're so used to using autopilot that they expect to just use autopilot all the time. Like, so that would be false as well. You gotta learn how to do stick and rudder. That's why I fly most of my flights with that. I think I've used the autopilot on this once because I got lazy. Maybe twice. But I typically have never used autopilot in real life, so I'm just used to flying by hand. And I find it rewarding. It's almost like challenging, if you will. You know, trimming out here and there. Make sure you're stable. Drifting off to the right when you're looking at a program somewhere else. You know, it's always good. Never in the real world. I find that it's easier to keep control more in the real world than it is on the sim. It seems a little bit more delicate in certain ways. And and your peripheral vision's not as good. So look at that though. You can't beat this scenery. How about that new NVIDIA card coming out? I think that they said it was going to retail for $1,500, the top model, which I guess in the grand scheme of things, that's not expensive for the top graphics card. I mean, I remember graphics cards, the best one was like $350. But I also mine Bitcoin, so who am I to say, because I'm probably part of the reason why graphics cards are so expensive. Yeah, it just seems like that when you're in the real plane, like your senses are about you too, but it's easier just to keep, I mean, you barely touch the yoke. You're just deflecting the air off the ailerons and the rudder, and it just seems easier, you know, unless it's turbulent and stuff. Which will be my next video coming out on the Eric Flight channel. My trip to Chester, New York. Moderate to light turbulence all the way out. Hard approach. I had to go around the first time. But stuff like that, you'll be jiggling a little bit. But for the most part, it's just really easy. Like, I got it all trimmed out now and everything. But when you fly the 152, I hardly even touch the trim on that thing. So, yeah, it would be cool. Even force feedback. I kind of miss force feedback. I have my old Microsoft Sidewinder up there. And once in a while I thought, man, maybe I should get in an Airbus and treat it like the Airbus thing, because they have the not full out yoke like this. But now that I got the Cirrus that I want to fly too, I might even take lessons in one later on after I get my instrument ratings. They have some at Plymouth Airport, but might do that. I'm veering off to the west a little bit, see that? So, I mean the south. But that is the Eagle Mountains Wilderness area. And we'd still be, you know, it's not legal, but I'd be within the right to fly over that, because they want you to be like 2,000 feet above, and the highest peak there is about 3,300. But those are the things that you learn when you take your private pilot written. That's one of the questions that they could spring on you, is how many feet do they request that you be above wildlife refuge areas and stuff like that, wilderness, and it's 2,000 feet. Not that you have to, but it's nice. You know, and a large part of flying a plane for real is the feeling. Your body will tell you when something's wrong if you're attuned to it, you know. But like right now, this yoke, yeah, it feels great. It's a honeycomb yoke. I love it. But in the real world, you'd feel like the pressure of the wind off the wings and stuff, you know. But I do believe that simulators can teach you things too, even VFR. And I know a lot of people out there, oh, it's only good for instrument training. But I mean, I'm doing cross-country training, if you think about it right now, while having fun flying a cross-country flight. Alright, coming up on our checkpoint in the northern part of this wilderness area. I said 53 minutes, I got 51, so yeah, we'll see. Probably like a minute ahead. I'll say 52. Adjusting my times on the other checkpoints, but we're right in the ballpark, which is what matters. So, alright, next one is the New Water Mountain Wilderness area. A lot of wilderness areas, a lot of open area out here. Oh, got some turbulence too. Yeah, if you're doing it for that, it's perfect. I will say that I agree with Jet Pilot Cinnamon, who is the founder of the Virtual USA Club. These things tend to float too much when you're landing. Like I'll be flaring and it's not dropping the speed off at all. It just keeps gliding on down with ground effect. So that's not as realistic as the real world. But yeah, XP11 was definitely better on the flight dynamics than Microsoft and Prepared ever were. And I was a prepared person myself. I just started Microsoft Flight Simulator, so I stuck with it. But XP 11, I think I tried that like 3 times. The flight models were definitely better, but this is supposed to have the same type of thought of flight, and the fact that it's got thousands of points on it, and it's supposed to work with the wind. So, kind of like what X-Plane does, but just the flight model itself, it needs to be tweaked just a little bit more. It's definitely more realistic than what they had prepared, though. Yeah, it does. It needs study level planes, and I bet you, if anything, that Lockheed Martin would be smart to try to negotiate in the future to have this engine. You know, it's almost like first-person shooters. You know, you buy the engine, you edit it to what you want. But I will let you know that the one, I think I did 2 times sim training at the flight school, and it was basically just a watered-down version of Prepared. It didn't have all the scenery and stuff, but it had the better hardware, obviously, because they had like the really good FAA certified stuff. But it's not about graphics there, it's about maneuvers and stuff, and you could do that right here. I mean, what I did, all we did was we simulated across country like I'm doing right now, and it was just to get me used to planning and getting used to what I would see visually out there. So we only did it because it was a rainy day, and I was like, yeah, why not? That way I can say I did the sim there. Oh, 2-year-old on board. Hey, you want to sit? Okay, my dad, remove that laptop there. Work laptop from 2012. You think it's old? Oh. 2-year-old on board. Everyone be quiet. No kidding. I don't touch anything. I know you. You don't touch that mixture, because if you touch that mixture, we'll go down again. She did that before during the fly-in. Wasn't a good time. We're going to head a little bit to the north here to avoid the restricted airspace. And yes, what's the matter? Want some iced tea? Here, knock yourself out, kid. Good? I think she's good. All right. Want your headphone off so I can hear her. You gonna go somewhere? Take a look outside too when we get to the New Water Mountain Wilderness area. What's up? More? Here. And 2-year-old has departed off the flight deck. Alright, that tests you on distractions in the cockpit too. See, it's all good. 2-year-old comes in, once in a while pulls on the mixture, pulls it all the way out. We're all good. Emergency procedures, proceed from there. I will say, I haven't done a lot of flight maneuvers in this, but I would like to try to stall this and that. That's supposed to be better. I could never really authentically stall the plane. Well, when she pulls out the mixture, basically the engine will quit, and then you have to restart it. So, and meanwhile, the plane's turning to the left and almost going into a spin, so it's all good. Yeah. Kind of like when they train you on where to pick a place to go. Hi, you want some more iced tea? Is that what we're doing? They will pull out the throttle and say your engine's dying. What are you going to do? Again, proper procedure is airspeed for best. Just take the iced tea. You're fine. So, wife on board. What's up? Okay, I'm going to be down there soon. Okay. All right. Love you. And anyways, I was getting back to emergency procedures. So what they'll do is they'll pull out the throttle. They say your engine's dying. What are you gonna do? Again, the proper procedures. Airspeed, best glide on this plane would be 68. And then it's basically an ABC. B is best place to land. There's lots of good places to land here because you're in open land. Where I live in the Northeast, there's not as much. And then C is checklist if you have time. So stuff like that. On my check ride, I had a simulated engine fire. And he's like, "What are you gonna do?" And he was pulling up the throttle. So that was quite interesting, but very good practice. Sometimes I'll do that in the sim, not so much when I'm streaming, but if I'm just flying by myself, I'll pull out the throttle and go, "Up, engine, where are you gonna go?" And it's good practice for the real world, so that you don't get nervous. I mean, you know you're not gonna die in the sim, but you know, well, virtually you die, but you know. All right, wonder what that mountain is out there. It's part of the KOFA National Wildlife Refuge out here. I see her. I gotta look outside. A lot of open land here. We have have restricted airspace out there too. Never looked at the sectional to find out what that was. That's why we're heading to the ones that lead us. Stay out of there. Gorgeous scenery. I did try repainting this because a little experience with that. I just couldn't do it. Oh yeah, they'll do that. Yep. Sometimes, if they want to be really extreme, not that I would approve of this, but I heard of one flight instructor actually pulling the mixture all the way out, and they had an engine out. Like, I don't know why you would do that. It's supposed to be simulated, but they will train you pretty hard. So I remember I was cruising, I think at 2,500. My instructor pulled out the engine on my way back to Plymouth one time. The throttle, that is, not the mixture, so that way you can go back in when you have to. But I had to do a no flaps landing with no engine. So yeah. Oh yeah. Hey, it can happen. One of my first flights as a private pilot, I was flying to Block Island and it had carb icing. First time ever, because before they were like, oh, your RPM's going down. Your RPM's going all over the place. Going down. What are you going to do? Carb heat. But it's by myself, and I thought it was a mixture problem, being a noob and being out the mixture for the first time by myself. And yeah, it wasn't. And carb heat, put it on, and literally within like 2 seconds, it cleared the ice in the carb, which was good because the engine was kind of slowing down, and I was like, oh god, here we go. But you plan for those things too. I planned for 6,500 altitude there to go over Rhode Island Sound. I probably would have made Block Island still, or at least close to it. I at least would have made land. Let's put it that way. But that video is also on the Eric Flight channel, so feel free to check that one out too. And that's our New Water Mountain Wilderness area over here. So that's our checkpoint when we hit that on the sectional. And then we're direct for Blythe. So we're about 60% there. Let's get an update on Google Earth Pro. So we left from Phoenix Mesa. We're on our way to Blythe Airport right there. And here we are right here. So good times. Let's see if I'm LA Center's territory. Almost. So I will call them up and get some quick flight following. Won't be that long, but get there. And the border between Arizona and California is right before Blythe. So that's the border of border of California and Arizona is right here. So I can't wait to see LA. I deliberately have not loaded the simulator in Los Angeles yet, because I went there last summer. I actually thought I was going to live out there after college, being a musician. Never really materialized, but expensive, but it was cool to go, I have some friends out there that work in the industry, so. But it's all good. Alright, we're almost there to the northern part of this. Ooh, that looks nice too. Let's get out there and see that. Look at that. Beautiful. Still wondering what the resolution of terrain mesh is on this. Intrigued on whether there'll be like an update that will make it better or not. I mean, it looks pretty good the way it is, but just intrigued at what resolution the terrain mesh is. I think X-Plan's going to have some shoes to fill, though, if they ever do tweak out all the little things here. I still think it's a great simulator, but it has its little issues still. But they fixed this one today with that sim. You can definitely fly with it, so that's cool. Still 30 frames per second, locked at 30 frames, and it got all 30. So, good times. All right. I should get an update on how long it's going to take to get to Blythe from here. Well, I'm going to call this checkpoint hour and 3 or so. I said hour 6, so we're actually going a little faster than what I calculated, but that's cool. Still in the ballpark, like I said. Alright. And turn slightly to the south to get on track. Beautiful scenery. This is Southwest, everybody. Didn't look like this last year when I did around the USA flight, if I'm prepared. That's my phone doing all that beeping. I got it hooked up to Bluetooth in the headset here. What's going on? Oh, you're welcome from my coworker. She did a lot for me today. I have to work remotely for a little bit, so I call on her because she's at the school when I need something that I can't do. So she actually streamed the whole meeting for me today with her phone, which was pretty nice for her to do. Alright. I'm going to stick some background music into my headphones, but eventually I'm going to add music to this stream. Just want to make it copyright and royalty free, so that way I can support some artists out there. Someday I might even get, again, enough ambition to write my own music and share it with everybody. But until then, I shall use copyright free and royalty free music. Where I am now. I do have a YouTube playlist of flying music, which is not copyright free. Got some Top Gun in there, you know, got a little of everything. So, some Red Hot Chili Peppers Aeroplane is pretty good. And on longer flights like this, I've only flown with it in my ears once. But the more I practice here, the less distracted I'll be in the real world. That's the way I figure it. So. Again, down there is a restricted airspace, and I didn't really read on the section on what it's all about, but you don't want to go there unless you really have to. I think that's restricted. Alright, we're about 20 minutes out of Blythe, believe it or not, so we're almost done with this flight. Pretty good. It's been kind of scenic, and still is scenic. Yeah, I'll get an updated air temperature in a second, but it is very beautiful for a desert. Where's that sun? Oh, there it is. I like the haze of the sun. It's pretty cool, the little graphics like that. But outside air temperature is 44 degrees Fahrenheit at 6,500 feet. So it's not that hot out down there. Probably like another, at most, 20 degrees Fahrenheit down there. So it's about 64, I guess. Is it? Yeah, seems like it's cool. I don't know. Alright, we're going to have to contact LA Center. So let me get that set up as long as they're still on. They are 125.8. Alright. I'm going to go off that Simluator.
Air contact 70 northeast to Tuba City. Sadly, the Tubas are absolutely not on sale today.
Don't know what that was about, but...
I completely agree.
Wow. Yeah, we're not that warm here. We're about 70s and 60s overnight. We think that's warm, so we're still wearing shorts up here. Let's put it that way. That's in Massachusetts. So Alright, let's call it LA Center here. Here we go. LA Center, November 489er Echo Foxtrot.
November 489er Echo Foxtrot, Los Angeles Center, go ahead.
Cessna Niner Echo Foxtrot type 30 miles east of Kilo Bravo Lima Hotel at 6,500, requesting flight following at this time.
November 489er Echo Foxtrot, unable flight following this afternoon. You can just continue on your own. If you'd like to monitor the frequency, that's fine. The Blythe altimeter is 2982. We'll see you later.
Roger, I'll monitor you, Niner Echo Foxtrot. They never ever have to offer you flight following, probably because he's wicked busy, but they do not have to do that. So that is very much like...
That is 1215, limiting airspace to the northwest. Oakland Center is closed. You may see traffic after 12 o'clock and 30 miles, 1,000 feet above you is an Alaska Airbus. No further ETC is available. Radar service terminated. Change to advisory frequency is approved. We'll see you.
Let's try that.
Correction. LAX Center is American 777 in your area, currently climbing up to 29,000 and at 11.5.
American 777 Los Angeles Center, hello, climb and maintain probable 290.
Alright, we're going to set the weather for Blythe.
Tablet 2395, LA Center, squawk 7156. Good afternoon.
I'm looking at COM 2, so let me do that now.
Delta 965, just set to maintain probable 320.
And we should be able to monitor it, which is a new feature in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So I'll be able to listen to COM 1 with that sim.
Delta 965, just set to maintain probable 320.
Flight sim. Which is cool. Last night, though, it wouldn't go off COM 2 after. So
Lufthansa 701, Los Angeles Center, are you on frequency?
Or maybe not. Who knows? I didn't change it over. That's my problem.
Alaska 2142, clear direct O'Toole and join the Angel 4 arrival.
Or maybe not. I'll check, make sure that I don't have something wrong here.
Alaska 2142, clear direct O'Toole and join the Angel 4 arrival.
It's all the way up.
Clear direct O'Toole will
Southwest 2395, radar contact as reported, just set to maintain probable 300.
Alright, then we're going to switch it really fast.
Delta.
Here we go. So maybe you can't monitor at the same time. We're not getting Blythe weather yet either. 120. Oh, I got the wrong frequency.
Calvin, Delta 2662.
Let's try this again.
Lufthansa 701, Los Angeles Center, are you on frequency?
There we go. Do. Blythe. Non-controlled airport. Class E airspace. That's scenery. So, literally, they don't have the weather station for Blythe, I don't think. Or else I'd be hearing something right now, which is probably why it wouldn't let me monitor on COM 2, because it's not coming at COM 1 either. Switch back to LA Center. And, you know what? I'll go real world. How's that?
Lufthansa 702, if you're in contact with your company, Lufthansa 701, have them please come up on the 125.8 frequency,
do.
please.
We're going to call,
Well,
and I'm going to get the weather that way, because they have the phone numbers for the weather here. So let's get real world. And I haven't connected Bluetooth to my headset, so it'll be right into my headset. So, here we go. Blythe Airport. Alright, you couldn't hear that, but that was a phone call through my headphones with the weather station for real from Blythe, California. Again, the numbers are in the chart supplements. If you ever want to do something like that, you can. Feel free to call up the weather, and you'll get the automated weather over your phone. So, same thing I do when I go to Plymouth. Sometimes I'll be driving and I'll check the automated weather system. But look at that scenery. Wow, you got some houses down there. Nice scenery. Alright, so 150 at 11. That's what they gave me for winds. So we're talking runway 17 at Blythe. And again, we'll be doing that Unicom. So I'm going to go 122.8 right now. Center doesn't really want to deal with me, so that's fine. And we're 22 nautical miles out. What was my checkpoint anyways? Might be nice to know that one, right? 103, yep. Alright, 111. Oh, it's the Dome Rock, which is to our left here. So this right here, Dome Rock, is our next checkpoint, and we're about there already. Hour 17 minutes. I have a hour and 14, so we're definitely in the ballpark, and that will let you know that you're on course. And yeah, if any of you want to try calling that weather, just go to your chart supplement and you look on the weather data sources, and it'll have a phone number next to it. This one was 760-922-3000, and it'll just give you the weather report from the real world airport. So it's kind of like a backup if this simulator doesn't have the weather station in it like it should. But it's all good. And 10 minutes out. So show you where we are. So once again, we went from Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport straight to Blythe. And that's how close we are. We're the bigger aircraft right here. That's Route 60. Did I say Route 10 before? I think I did. It's Route 60. Sorry, everybody. Right to Blythe. Which, again, is a Class E airport. It's not much to look at. But, park around this apron here. That's another reason why I like Google Earth. If you don't know where to park at an airport, it's good to look at this and kind of get an idea of where they have them. Blythe seems pretty easy. We'll be landing runway 17, which is north. Well, not north. 17. Hello. This way. South. Thank you. So we're going to come in this way. I haven't determined how I'm going to enter yet, but we will in a second. And I might just do a left base, but let's check to make sure it's a left traffic pattern. Or I could do the left 45 like I would do in real life. So, yeah, everything's left pattern here. They also have parachuting in the area, as shown on the sectional. And pretty soon we're going to start our descent down. When we hit a river, the Colorado River, that is, of course, that is the border between California and Arizona. So we'll be overflying that in just a little bit. And we should be seeing 60 below us. Yeah, right there, see that? Colorado, should be right here. That's the border between Arizona and California. So I've almost made it coast to coast. We started flying all these flights in June, so you can see how long it's taken in shifts to fly with the 172 cross country, and actually started out and prepared, so didn't look as good as this. It's all good. Oh god, we got Dirks Bentley, Drunk on a Plane. Nice song. Well written. Alright, we'll call about 10 nautical miles out, let people know where we are now. Unicom, and do all that, so. Colorado right there. Imagine that coming from all the way like near Vegas and stuff. I think that's what it does, right? Isn't that? Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly what it does. So it's amazing that the river goes all the way down from Las Vegas all the way down here. Hoover Dam. All the way down there. No, it's wrong. Flying down. Welcome to California, almost. Light should be right out here somewhere, I think. Gotta take a screenshot of this. Zulu time I got right now is 22:54. Look at the ETA above, I'll give you an idea of when we'll get there. 7 minutes or so. Looks really, really nice. Right. Pattern altitude is 1400 at Blythe. Blythe traffic, Cessna 9 Echo Foxtrot, 12 miles to the east. We're going to set up a extended left base for runway 17 Blythe. So that's what we're doing. And we're going to start descending right now. So we'll kick back the RPMs to about 2200. We'll do a cruising descent down. Again, it should be in the distance over here. So as we get closer, we will find out. I'm going to trim up slightly to be at 500 feet per minute. Descending, that is. And they do not want us to overfly the power plant. Where's the power plant? Maybe that. So I just saw that in the sectional. I don't know. Let's look outside. That might be a power plant. So I'm definitely not flying over a power plant. Is it? No, alright. Do you know if it's south or north of where I am? We have a nuclear power plant in Plymouth as well, so right on the coast. I don't know, man. Don't see it yet. No. Is it that? No, I can't. Maybe this? No clue. No clue. But I'm heading south to find out. Oh boy. This is the town or city of Blythe. The airport is out there. You can see it. So that's pretty cool. I'm hoping I don't overfly the power plant. You must get nervous when you do that. Could be just a generic building that's covering it up. So. Alright, I think I'm good still. So we'll fly right over the town. I didn't see any power plant. If I knew more of where to look, I could probably find it. But alright, let's go to Blythe. Gotta enrich the mixture here. And south of I-10. Closer to Buckeye. Really? Because it says right outside Blythe, it says avoid direct overflight of power plant. So I don't know. But it's right near Blythe Airport, Class E airspace. So, alright, let's swing out here so we get that left base. Pattern altitude again is 1400. I'm saying that more for myself right now. Blythe traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, setting up an extended left base for runway 17, Blythe. But really easy to see airports out here too. It's not as congested, so it's cool. I gotta do a stream of the Cirrus though. I got the POH and everything to try to fly that thing as real as possible, even though I've never stepped into one. There's a guy on YouTube who streams flights in his Cirrus. He flies it for business and pleasure. Nico's Wings. He's pretty good. Very interesting to fly that Cirrus places. And he doesn't seem like he's as much of a prick as a lot of Cirrus flyers are, so he's a pretty nice guy. 4,000 feet, we gotta get down here, so try 700 feet per second. Minute, I mean, whoa. Is there? Maybe that's what it, oh, wait. It says power plant right here. Yeah. So, I'm gonna have to swing out here because it says the power plant's right in front of the airport. I just saw the black dot, so. Maybe that's it. I don't really see it. I see it's right outside the airport. Oh yeah, this must be the power plant. Those solar panels? It looks like farmland to me, but it could be. It's definitely some type of plant. Swing up to the right here. And I'm coming very high, so I gotta get this thing down. So we're gonna pull the throttle all the way out. We're just gonna let it glide down. And if I have to, I'll take a right 360. Because we are very high. Mixture all the way in. Yeah. It's supposed to be somewhere down here. Is that it? That looks like solar panels, actually. Yeah. But it said a little bit. It's a little bit behind me, so I'm guessing that this whole thing maybe is a plant. That definitely looks like solar panels right there. That's a solar farm. So that's cool. All right, we're gonna do a right 360 to descend down a little bit more. That should set us up. Ordinarily, I probably should set my descent a little earlier, but that's cool. It's all right. By going to the right, I'm not gonna have any problem with flying over that power plant. So, wonder why they want you flying over a solar power plant. Unless they just get nervous. I mean, oh, maybe they want you to block the sun. I don't know. All right. Yeah, it just seems like maybe it's elongated and huge. Actually, I got the Google Earth here. You think I would look at it? Oops. That is a plant right there. That's the power plant. That little thing with the two little triangular ponds, which now I can't see. But it's fun to pick out stuff like that on this because you could never really do that before with total accuracy. And now that's all satellite driven. It's awesome. Blythe traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot 3 miles to the northeast. We're going to set up a left base for runway 17, Blythe. And we should be good on altitude when we get there too. So, those are the solar panels and the plant's right over here on our right. Be right on the border here. Right there, that's the plant that they're talking about. Alright, we're left base extended. No one seems to be here anyways, and I'm going to trim up slightly. And we should be 1700. So let's do that. And seeing that we're under 110 knots, we'll put 10 degrees of flaps, they'll slow us down. Angle it down slightly. Still a little high, but we'll make it happen. about 80 knots or so. I'm gonna go to 1500-ish. Nope, a little slow. Another 10 degrees of flaps now that we're at 85. That'll slow us down even more. 20 degrees of flaps. We only have 30 in the plane, so gonna turn final. Gonna be a little high. Blythe traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, base to final, runway 17, Blythe. I'm gonna pull the throttle out. Very full flaps. Yeah, we're too high for this. I might go around because I didn't set this up pretty good. Alright, going around. Blythe traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, going round. Climb at 74 and I'm retracting the flaps. It's alright, we'll set it up better. That was my fault. My fault. Let's go. Climb, 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 climb. It's too high to begin with. Not the smartest flying, but you know what? You do what you have to do. So, just too fixated on that power plant. Alright, what we're going to do now is we'll climb to 1400 like so. Try to trim out a little bit better. And we will overfly the airport. We'll join a left pattern. And we will be good. Throttle a little bit. 2,300-ish. Alright, clear on the left. Let's do it. Blythe traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, turning crosswind, runway 17, Blythe. $1,400. Get down there, Eric. Okay, even out. To the right. We're good. Turning downwind. Blythe traffic, Cessna Echo Foxtrot, crosswind to downwind, runway 17, Blythe. Go. Right rudder to even it out. I want to be over that runway actually, so turn in a little bit more. Now, when we are parallel the numbers, we will back off and set it up correctly. Be all good. Still wondering why they don't want you to fly over that plant, so right near the solar panels right now. There has not been any drops in frames though of VATSIM, so that patch definitely worked, which is awesome to see. I would not hesitate to fly VATSIM now, let's put it that way. Alright, we're beam the numbers, 1700. No carb heat in this model, it's all fuel injected. Under 110, so 10 degrees of flaps. And descend, nose down a little bit. It's a little high still, but not that bad. Alright. Hardest thing is peripheral vision in the sim, if you ask me. Real world, it's a lot easier. I want to be about 500 feet per minute. Okay. Extend my downwind a little bit so I can actually see the runway better this time and not come in high. Okay, turning base. I was clear on the left. We're at 80 knots where we should be about. So that's cool. That shows proper descent while we are in the pattern. Remember to always apply a rudder opposite when you turn out of it. Down to 15, 20 degrees flaps. And turning final. Much better on the setup this time, which it should be. I want to be about 70, 75, 70. And then I want to land at about 65, 60. But this thing tends to float, like I said. In the real world, you'd probably get this more lined up because peripheral vision would be better, but doing very good right now. And we'll put the last 10 degrees of flaps in. Right about now. Bring back the throttle. We should slowly make our way to 65, 60, and we are going to be good. It's going to happen. Now watch how much float this is going to have, even though I'm going to hit the runway about 65. I got the throttle all the way out. Just gliding in, 60. All right, put a little throttle in. And now I'm just going to flare it out. Now floating a little bit. Floating, floating, floating. I should probably be down by now. So it floats a little bit more than real life, if you ask me. And Jet Pilot Cinnamon said the same thing. It's just, there's a lot more float than what there is. Flaps up. Gonna visually check they're up. Yep, they're going up. All right. If you had carb heat, because it's a carbureted engine, you turn that off too, because you don't want to suck in anything to the carburetor. All right, we're going to continue our way all the way down the runway, and the apron's on the left over there. So that was a peaceful flight, and definitely a successful test of that sim with the newest patch. So fly away, gentlemen and gentle ladies, fly away. That taxi doesn't go much of it anywhere, I don't think, so I might be wrong on that. This doesn't have an official airport diagram. Cool. All right. I guess I gotta keep going, actually. All right. This is the other runway. Yeah, I'm kind of looking at Google Earth now, because that'll help me. But, here we go. Taxi off here. Cold clear. Do the checklist. The, taxi lights look a little bit better. All right. Blythe traffic, Cessna 9 Echo Foxtrot, clear of runway 17, Blythe. All right, after landing, flaps up. Check, because I already did that. Strobes off. Landing light, I like to leave on until I shut the plane off for extra visibility while taxiing. And trim set for takeoff. Beautiful. All right, with that, we're going to go park over near these planes on the apron and call this flight done. And I want to go eat some dinner. For real. Not virtually, for real. So I can't tell you if this looks like the real thing or not, but judging from the Google Earth scenery here on my right, it looks pretty realistic according to the real world. So even the color of the apron. So get out of the way of these airplanes here. Hey, look, it's a fuel truck, everybody. It's a little hard to turn the apron though when you got these taxi lights, huh? When I did ground school, one of the instructors told me he ran one of those over and it cost him like $300 to replace it. So, all right, we'll pull over near this. Looks like it to be a Bonanza, maybe. Or is that a? That could be a Piper. Actually, no, I'm looking at it. Okay. Well, you know, it's a little dinky airport. I mean, it's a classy airport, so. With a CTAF of 122.8, which is following VATSIM too. All right, securing ELT, verify silent, avionics off, radios off, transponder off. I mean, I guess you don't have to do that when you have an avionics master. We're gonna turn off all lights except for beacon. Anything on the electrical system you want to turn off. Mixture full lean. Mags off, master off, lights off. Parking brake, which we never really use in the real world because it's hydraulic and it can ruin your hydraulics if you have a leak in there and you won't have any brakes. Oh yeah, no, it's only about $300. That's what he said. I mean, I can't verify that. I've never run over a taxi light, nor do I plan on doing that someday. But if I ever do, I'll let you know. All right, let's take a look outside. Blythe, California, everybody. We've made it to California. All the way from Plymouth, Massachusetts to Blythe, California. In a 172, both in prepared and Microsoft Flight Simulator. So, but yeah, fly away on VATSIM now because it is perfecto. In fact, I'm gonna disconnect. But as always, thank you for joining me. And I appreciate you watching. If you haven't followed, please push that follow button. And also subscribe and like on the Eric Flight channel. I have some real world flights, flight video, as well as all these simulated flights. They are archived on there. And no, thank you for being here, because I know it's not always the most exciting thing watching someone fly. But I do appreciate it, and I hope I'm somewhat informative and, heck, maybe even just a little bit entertaining. So, but without further ado, we'll see you later. Remember, follow, like, subscribe, and I'll see you on the next flight. And fly away on VATSIM, because it's cool now. We'll see ya.